Hi guys, my name's Bex and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing to you the mid-year book freakout. I am so excited to be bringing you guys today the mid-year book freakout. This amazing tag was created by Ellie from Earl Grey Books and Chammy from Read Like Wildfire. I will leave links to their channels down below, go check them out. There are 14 questions today that basically go through our books for the first half of the year, what we've read, what we didn't like, and yeah, so it's going to be a little bit exciting, so let's get started. Question 1 is best book you've read in 2017, and this of course is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. Now, a lot of you are surprised to know that I only finished this one in January. I finished reading this one on the 2nd of January, and it is by far my favourite book this year. I loved every second of it, and diving more into the Fae world. This one, of course, is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and it follows Feyre, who is thrust into the fairy world after she kills a Fae. And it just continues on from what happened in A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I can't spill too much of that for you now because duh. And I guess the reason I love this one was Rhysand. Everything in this book was fantastic. It was not only a good story, not only amazing writing, but the characters were so good. Question 2 is best sequel you've read in 2017, and of course I could go with Court of Mist and Fury, which I will, but I also want to add in here A Court of Wings and Ruin because it followed on perfectly from A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm so glad I got to dive into this world again, and it was everything that I wanted and more. A perfect conclusion, but it left a little bit open for some following books, so I'm excited to see where the A Court of Thorns and Roses series is going, but we got to see our babies back together again, and really that's all that matters. Question 3 is new release you haven't read yet, but really want to, and this one of course is When Dimple Met Rishi by Zendaya Menon, and this is a new release contemporary book that follows Dimple and Rishi, who I believe are entered into an arranged marriage. Dimple's main aim is to get away from the traditions, but I feel like they're thrust upon her in this book, and I'm so excited to read it. There's been so many rave reviews so far, so I'm excited to dive in. Question 4 is most anticipated for the second half of the year, and there are so many books that are highly anticipated. How am I going to name them all? So I think what I'll do with the new releases, I'll just rapid fire them at you. Warcross by Marie Lu, Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo, and lastly All the Crooked Saints by Margie Stiefvater. Question 5 is biggest disappointment, and this one I'm going to be absolutely killed over, but my biggest disappointment was Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. It was just so hyped up and I was just so let down. I felt like Saga was just overly crude, which I'm like into, like all for that crudeness, but it was crude but it didn't assist with the plot. But I'll continue on and hopefully Saga gets better. Question 6 is biggest surprise, and for this one I've chosen Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Scythe is a story about reapers where everyone lives in a utopian world. You keep the population under control, people have to be size and cull the population, and it's about 2 size in training, and I thought the premise of this book was really interesting, but it was so much better than I expected. I loved every second of this book, and I can't wait for the next book, Thunderhead, to come out. Question 7 is favorite new author, debut or new to you, and I have gone with Angie Thomas, who wrote The Hate You Give, and this was one of my other favorite reads this year. It was powerful, it was moving, it was real, and it was fantastic, and the writing was just really, really beautiful. Angie's books also touch on hard topics that are prominent in society, like this one, which touched on the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality. So really, really, really good book, and I'm excited to pick up anything else she writes. Number 8 is newest fictional crush, and number 9 is new favorite character. And of course, I have to go for Rhysand. For no other reason than he is just the perfect man. He is sweet, he is sensitive, he is tough, he is strong, he is bae, basically. So he is my favourite character and my favourite fictional crush. Number 10 is book that made you cry, and today I'm going to have to go with the one that made me cry the most this year, other than A Court of Wings and Ruin, although I cried for the whole third of that book. But in order to change it up a bit, I have gone with A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, from an idea inspired by Siobhan Dowd. This book was absolutely moving, and it is about a young boy named Connor whose mother is diagnosed with a terminal cancer, and he has been looking after her his whole life. It's a story about grief, and it's absolutely beautiful, and Jim Kay's illustrations in this book make it all the better. I cried so hard at this book. It was just so moving, and it was just so emotional, and I don't know if I'll cry that hard in a book ever again. Number 11 is Book That Made You Happy. Now, moving on from the sadness that was A Monster Calls is of course the happiness that was Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. Holy crap, was this fantastic. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, especially because it's a contemporary. I don't read contemporaries very much, but this was geeky and nerdy and fantastic and funny and diverse. It was just so freaking good. I have linked to my review of Jen Wilde's Queens of Geek, which I will leave up there and down in the comments if you want to go check it out and learn more about my thoughts. But it follows three friends who venture from Melbourne, Australia to Comic-Con, or SuperCon in this case. It just gave me all the nerdy feels and all the nerdy happiness, and this was absolutely perfect. Number 12 is Most Beautiful Book You've Bought This Year, and of course this has got to go to Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, because this is all kinds of beautiful. Nothing can beat this. It is fantastic. The beauty. I just can't get over it. It's pretty. I like it. Question 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I have picked two for you guys today. And that is A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, because everybody is raving about this book and I can't wait to dive into it. Also, I will be buddy reading this one with Jade from Jadeyraereads, so we need to get onto this ASAP. The next book I need to read by the end of the year is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I finished A Darker Shade of Magic a couple of months ago. I buddy read it with Erena from Erena Reads. I'll leave her down below as well. Go check her out. She's amazing. And I loved it. The world building was fantastic, so I can't wait to see where Victoria goes with this one and if it is as amazing and as fantastic as the first book was. Now, the last question was added in from last year, and it is favorite book community member. And I'm going to mention a couple of people from BookTube and from Bookstagram because I am very prevalent on both of those platforms. One of my most favorite community members on BookTube, of course, is G from Book Roast. Every one of her videos makes me laugh and makes me happy and makes me excited. She is just one of the most beautiful people, and I love her very, very much. The second BookTube member, of course, is Jade from Jadeyraereads. I watch every one of Jade's videos. I love her very, very much. She is fantastic. She is just so fun and vibrant on this community, and I love checking out all of her videos. I will leave her link down below as well. Go check them out. Go check them out. They're so good. They're such great people. And on Bookstagram, I'm going to mention a few amazing people as well. First off is Sarah from the Book Tweeter. She is an amazing Bookstagrammer. Her pictures are divine and they make me so happy to look at. Not only that, she is an awesome person. I chat to her non-stop about all of the Shadowhunter deals, and I just love that I can chat to her on a daily basis about the things we love. So go check out Sarah. Another one of my favorite community members on Bookstagram is Ellie from Fanatical Fantasy. Her pictures are vibrant. Her personality is so bubbly. Every time she posts her stories, I love watching them and just talking to her about her favorite book. She has some amazing recommendations, so definitely check her out. One more shout out I'm going to give today for my favorite community member goes to Erena from Erena Reads. I love her so much. I talk to her all the time. I think she's fantastic, and if you haven't checked out her Bookstagram or her BookTube, I definitely recommend it, and we'll leave all the links to her stuff down below as well. That is all from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my mid-year book freakout, and I'm going to tag some people down below. You've probably already done it, but if you haven't, definitely do. So I'm going to tag Jade from Jadeyraereads, G from Book Roast, Erena from Erena Reads, Abbey from Abbeyleec the Book Lover, and finally Kristie from Bookwormkristie, who is new to BookTube, so go check her out as well. And that's all from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and chat to me down in the comments about your favorite book so far in 2017. So I will see you next time. Bye.